I'm Kevin Harlan. We've got an action-packed Saturday night of NBA action for you. Thanks for joining us. Here with me tonight, Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. The Pacers still playing on their home court in this one.
And as far as the regular season goes, Kevin, this is as good as it gets. The definition of a rivalry, a game between these two teams is always special.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I mean, we've seen so many great contests between them in the past that it's impossible not to be amped up. Can't you tell?
So a look at the starters for the Wizards. Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Pearson and Nene filling up the forward spots. And it's Gortat in at the center position.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Now here's Beal. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, the Wizards very high on their young, athletic backcourt of John Wall and Bradley Beal. Both so young and lively. They can run the floor and score. I get the feeling they feel like the backcourt is really the foundation for this franchise moving forward.
Good on the second free throw. And Beal with his great outside shooting. A nice compliment to John Wall.
You know, you watch Wall, how much he's improved as a shooter, but he's best really attacking off the dribble. With Beal spacing the floor, I think they make a nice 1-2 punch.
He can become a weapon for them if he gets going early from long range.
With the shot. Almost, but it rolls out. Wizards on D. 4-point game. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And their energy level at the defensive end was fantastic in that game, guys. They made finding an open shot very difficult in half-court situations.
And I thought, Steve, they excelled in transition defense as well. The energy level you talked about was obvious in that part of the game, too.
George with the bucket.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Wall attacking. Here's Gortat. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Marcin Gortat, the Polish hammer. Steve, we like him. I know, the 57th pick back in 2005.
He's just a quality starting center in the NBA. 6'11", center, can score and defend. Really a good pickup for Washington.
Beal gets a wide open look. Nice ball movement by Washington. Gortat misses. Indiana's gone 2 of 2 from 3-point range here in the first quarter. George, that's a 2-pointer. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. And it's 7 points for Paul George. Pierce with a wide open look. And again, Washington no good. Hill kicks to George. For the 3. Rebound, Washington. Last time they met was in Washington.
Well, they lost a very tight game the last time these two clubs met, and you have to believe that it weren't for the foul trouble they were in, the result might have been different.
Here's George after Paul Pierce's score. Stuckey outside. Outside, George. 6 to shoot. And again, it's Indiana converting. And Clark, what Steve was just referring to, do you think that even just a few more calls, they had gone their way, that would have pulled them out of it?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it, Kevin. When it comes down to late in the game and you're forced to use backups at that critical juncture in the ball game due to foul trouble, that swings the outcome by at least a few points, in my opinion.
Here's George. Following the basket by John Wall.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Now we have a chance to see the teams that have been the NBA's best three-point shooters this month. The Pacers in 5th.
Seems like their whole team is in a great rhythm from the three-point line right now. They've put on a display from long range.
And Sessions kicks to Porter. Not really his range, and it's off target. And now the fast break. George with the ball. And again, it's Indiana.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Sessions dishes to Humphries. Great D that time from Hibbert. Pacers leading by 10. Here's George. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Boy, what a fantastic opening quarter for them.
Yeah, it sure has been. Look at the lead they've jumped out to already. Impressive.
Humphries, no good. Indiana's gone 3 or 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range.
You know, he's so confident, sometimes to a fault, and that showed right there. That's a bad shot.
Exactly. I mean, that's self-inflicted damage right there. There are a lot better options than what he took.
Well, that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active, be energetic, and react as soon as the shot goes up.
And here's George for 3. Wizards trailed by 9. Butler from outside. Butler can't get that one to fall. Now Hibbert. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Serafin. And released it in time. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. The points are coming from here for the Pacers.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
So this is how the floor looks for the Wizards starting the second. Chris Humphries is out there with Kevin Serafin. Then it's Rasul Butler. Then there's Ramon Sessions. And it's Porter at the 2 guard.
Ramon Sessions, a 6'3" combo guard. He's actually pretty good guarding shooting guards. A good strength, especially in his legs, which allows him to stay in front of offensive players.
For the Wizards. It's stolen by Hill. And that one's good. 20 points for Paul George.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Kevin, Paul George has stated plainly that he hopes to post up much more often. Last season, he was basically dead last among forwards, only posting up on 5% of his possessions. He's put on muscle and developed his back-to-the-basket footwork. He said, quote, "I plan on being a lot more physical, seeking contact and finishing through it. That's my next step." He's trying to evolve, Kevin.
A good move considering his size and explosiveness, Doris. Thanks. Here's the pass to Beal. Takes a 3. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Well, let's see some of the numbers here on Marcin Gortat. They are loving what they've seen from him over the last month. Those stat lines have been tremendous. 3rd in field goal percentage, 16th in rebounding. And he's been using his size and quickness to great effect defensively. He's in the top 20 in the league in blocks per game.
And, Steve, you mentioned his sky-high field goal percentage ranking. I mean, he's got both the technique and the patience and discipline that all really great shooters have to be efficient and productive.
Hibbert with a screen for George. Inside to Hibbert. And Gortat with the block. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked really strong and together.
Yeah, very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Shot clock at 6. And Beal kicks to Pierce. Wall wide open. And again, Washington with the triple.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. The defense hasn't been able to set up. Well, last season, the fans in Indiana finally came back in bunches to support their hometown Pacers. In the top 10 in attendance, up from 25th in 2013.
Well, Clark, you look at the low attendance numbers for the Pacers in years past, from 2007 to 2012. They averaged the second worst in the league. I think that surprised a lot of people.
It really did. It surprised me and the rest of the organization as well. Yet that corresponds with the seasons that the Pacers actually dipped below 500, and there wasn't a lot of promise on the horizon. With the Pacers winning now, and from what I hear, the TV ratings are also over double. Actually, I know the TV ratings for that team have doubled up since 2012, so things are headed in the right direction now.
And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That's his 5th foul. Washington making some changes. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Gortat. Humphries comes in for Nene. And it's Butler in for Paul Pierce. The Wizards with another miss. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a win against Charlotte.
And if you want to look at one thing that was the key to the victory, Kevin, it was the three-point shooting.
Well, that's a powerful weapon for them indeed. I mean, it makes things a lot easier for you offensively when you're knocking down that three ball.
Stuckey kicks to George. Tipped away. And here we go. Washington fast break. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Wall's shot is off.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Maybe that'll get him going here in the second quarter. He already knocked down 2 in the first.
It's Beal on the wing. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. 6 seconds left now here in the second. Hill kicks to George. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Well, how about Paul George in this one? 25 points, and he's drained 3 three-point bombs so far.
Tell you what, he should not hesitate to keep firing from out there because he's got the touch tonight.
Down low, Rest and Hibbert. The backcourt, Hill and Myers. And it's George in the 3 spot. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
You know, the league doesn't always update players' heights after they enter the league. Paul George, 6'10" after a late growth spurt following his rookie season in the NBA.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, gentlemen, the Pacers head coach Frank Vogel has helped turn this team into a powerhouse. He's had a reputation for positivity, lifting his players up and boosting their confidence. As Paul George put it, coach has no shame in calling you out. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get embarrassed. No one wants that, Kevin.
He'll call you out, Doris, that's for sure. Thanks. And again, it's Indiana.
Well, he knew that with his height advantage over his man, it was really a good decision just to rise up and take the jump shot.
A chance to check out the shooting guards across the NBA that have averaged the highest number of assists over the last month. 5th is Bradley Beal.
That list of players just goes to show that great passing doesn't just come from the point. And the way these guys distribute the ball from the 2 spot is really a thing of beauty.
And, Steve, if you want to take your place among the great shooting guards in the NBA, you have to be able to do more than score. You've got to pass it as well. And a lot of these guys can.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, stretching back to the break, here's how the Wizards have performed. 7th in rebounding, 8th in assists. And as far as block shots go, not a strong suit for this team. Only top 20 in the league. They really don't do a good job of defending the paint.
And the rebounding is really the key stat that I'm looking at right there with all those numbers you talked about, Clark. This is a team that really tries to be physical, and when they're able to secure boards, that does a lot of things for them. It helps their defense, keeping teams from getting second chance opportunities against them, and it fuels their fast break.
Again, Pierce missing.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Here's George. It's on target from the high post. George has got 6 here in this quarter.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Gortat dishes the wall. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. West has got 6 rebounds in the game. And then Miles with the dunk.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
Wall passes to Gortat. Here's the break. From the corner. And there's Miles. That's good on the assist by George. And now it's a 9-point Pacer lead.
David West is a tough man's man at power forward, who also possesses a lot of guard skills. I mean, for a player his size, he's one of the best passers in the game.